And I talk about this, I think it's in the last blog that's called Be Here Meow, about how the Irish language brings us into the present moment. And, in English, when you say, usually you would say, I am sad, or I feel sad, or I feel angry, but that linking verb acts like an equal sign. So it's basically saying, this is who I am. As I talk about in that last blog, you would use the same construction in English for, I am a teacher, I am a US citizen, whatever statement you're going to make about yourself. And what's interesting is nonviolent communication challenges that thinking by using the present continuous tense. By the way, I want you to know one of the other books that I wrote is Connecting Across Differences, that I co-wrote with Jane Connor. And that whole book, I use the present continuous tense. Just in case people listening are not grammar geeks like I am, the continuous or progressive tense is the ing form in English. So normally in English, when you talk about something that is habitual or generally true, we'd use a simple present tense, like I live in Dublin, I'm from New York City, I'm an NVC trainer. So you don't say, the difference is you could, if it's temporary, you would say in English, I am living in Dublin. So that's a signifier for English speakers. I live in Dublin, meaning I'm permanently settled here, rather than I am living in Dublin. Does this make sense, everybody on the call? Mm-hmm. So in nonviolent communication, we use that continuous tense when talking about our feelings, which is not typical in the English language. We do that as a way to remind ourselves, how are we feeling in this moment? What is alive in this moment? So I mentioned Connecting Across Differences. I used the continuous tense in that whole book. And when I got it back from Puddle Dancer after the proofreading, the proofreader had changed all those verbs back to the simple present tense. And I said to the publisher, I'm like, what happened? Who is this? Who did you hire to edit the book? I'm doubting they have an NVC background, because I think they would have left these alone. But that's how unusual it is to use those continuous verbs in English. The editor thought I was making some kind of mistake, or it wasn't accurate. So my point is, NVC tries to bring in that awareness. It's not who I am. It's not over-identifying with our feelings. We want to identify our feelings and then not also, in my opinion, not be consumed by them, right? So, but what's amazing about an Irish is you cannot say in Irish, I am sad, or I am happy, or I am excited. Almost all the feelings in Irish are on you. So like, for example, tá scetamíní orm, that literally means I have excitement on me. That's how you say I'm excited. And so what I love about this is actually very consistent with current thinking from psychologists, that, again, about identifying your feelings, but not being consumed by them. Your feelings don't define you. Because if you do, here's the thing, we don't talk about this, in my opinion, very often in NVC. I've experienced this firsthand in the last couple of years. If I allow my feelings to consume me, and by the way, Marshall talked about this. He talked about how important it is to get to the needs. We don't want to get stuck in the feeling stuff.
Quick as the speed of light, he used to say. Quick as the speed of light.
Yes. So the feelings point to the needs. If we get kind of stuck in the feelings, then it furthers a story it can lead into stories that we have. If we're buying into the feelings so much. So in Irish, when it's on you, as I talk about in the blog, it's like putting on some clothing or a cap, It's I'm just putting it on temporarily. It's not who I am.